All right, all right, all right. I want to welcome you guys to the Free Texas campaign. Present the voices from behind the walls of TDCJ. Of course, I am the queen of collaborations, affectionately known across these social media platforms. I am Angela Thomas Smith. My whole desire is to be the change that I desire to see in this world. And what we're doing over here is exposing some corruption that's taking place in the state of Texas. Y'all, 3 to 4 decades is long enough. Enough is enough. So I want you guys to share this in your circle of influence. Share this in your circle of influence because you never know what the next person may be in need of, and you never know how you may be of assistance. I have a guest right here with us. He's gonna come up and introduce himself and share a little bit about his story or whatever is laid on his heart to share about on today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me, Angela.
If you would,
My name
please
is Joe.
introduce yourself.
My name is Joe Luis Guerrero. I've been incarcerated over 18 years. I did not, of course, we all come to prison for doing bad deeds. But I want to open up first with I grew up in a broken home. I turned to drugs in the street looking for the attention I should have got from home. And doing that, I met a lot of bad people, did a lot of bad things, got convicted for 3 counts of murder. I am not innocent, but I don't believe I deserve all the time I have got. I was convicted for 1 count of murder, for 3 counts of murder, one of them as a primary actor in 2 law parties. Again, like I said, I'm not innocent. I did know about crimes. I knew everything that was happening, but growing up, I didn't know the law, so things were kind of wishy-washy. They painted me as a primary character from the very beginning. I was never offered a plea bargain or anything. They just kept pushing everything on me. And being young and stupid, I took it. I even pled guilty and all that stuff. Just to kind of help the people that I was influenced by in the street, because I have believed in morals and codes that really don't stand up nowadays. I came to prison, I've changed a whole lot, taken courses to change my life personally because TDCJ has nothing to offer. And the things they do offer is supporting to push forward, and they don't motivate themselves. I'm a peer educator today, also associated with the self-harm group here on the county unit, at the McConnell unit, I'm sorry. I walk around here walking, talking to gentlemen that are in need of change. I concentrate on 12 buildings because that is the segregation where people are allowed 23-1 in a cell, and most of the time it's 24/7 because they're so short of staff that they cannot come out for day room, they cannot come out for a shower, they have no rest time. When their seats in the picket, officers are not doing their rounds every 30 minutes as they are asked to do as part of the requirement. So a lot of suicides have been happening again lately. As of this last week or so, we had 2 suicides. And they like to try to turn around and blame us chair walk not supporting our paperwork. But when we reach out to administration, letting them know that, hey, this guy is talking about this, or this guy is part of this problem, they turn a blind eye. Or they tell us to wait, get back to them later, that they're busy. The biggest part right now is that the woman in charge of the self-harm program on McConnell unit, Perez, she is being pulled from her position as a self-harm officer to go and do a regular job of a regular PO. I look at it like this: if I'm pulling the woman that's supposed to be walking around with us and help save a life, then how can she do that if she is stuck on one building or one car? I do my best I can here to help these gentlemen. I make them no promises, but I do lend an ear for them to listen to. Sometimes a lot of these gentlemen are stuck back there. I know a gentleman that's been incarcerated over 45 years, got 3 5-year set off because there are no programs for the said inmates. There's nothing they can take but sit in a cell and wait for the number to be called and be denied parole or granted. I personally take my personal money, buy workbooks. That way I can give these gentlemen back there an opportunity to take these classes. And if they're on their ITP, that way parole can see it and maybe one day give them parole. I know we're talking about corruption. It's the main subject right here in this podcast that I heard so far. And there is a lot. There's a lot of things that go on that everybody turns a blind eye to. No one sees things. We keep hearing about Texas reform. The parole system's going to be changed. The time is going to change. But nothing's ever changing for people in here. And I believe the thing that's happening is a lot of false hope is being given, so people are losing hope. Drugs are running rampant in this place, and the officers, the higher administration, are trying to say that it's inmates bringing it in. But as we stop our mail, we went to digital mail, because that's supposedly how we're getting it in. How do we still have it? And how do you have the real drugs that are here? The actual drug itself. That paper dope, as they call it. But yet they want us to penalize the next man. If I go on lockdown because you're drinking or smoking a drug habit, that they turn a blind eye, don't do nothing to that offender, but they want us to beat them up, so to say. That's the way it feels like. Because you punish the whole building, you punish a whole part behind one person's mistake. And that's not rehabilitation, that's just creating a hostile environment. I believe change has really got to start from the higher ups, the administration. We had a good warden here, Warden Sanchez. He went to regional. And the wardens that took over, they're disciplinary wardens. What they want is a snitch to go and tell them what's going on so they don't have to do their job. They can sit behind a desk doing nothing. But they won't come out here to address the issues that are really going on. I really didn't know what I wanted to talk about. I had a lot of things on my mind, but I think my biggest concern is these men and rehabilitation, having somebody here to help them out, giving them a fair shake when they come up for parole.
Right.
I still got roughly 12 more years before I see them, so I guess at the moment, that's not my priority. My main thing is just looking out for the next man that doesn't have no one to help him.
Well, you touched on a lot of great things. First of all, parole, rehabilitation, corruption are all things that we talk about. Our whole objective here at the Free Texas campaign is to make sure that those elected officials, those laws that have been passed are being that they are being held accountable. That's what we are doing, trying to make sure that they're being held accountable. And if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, then they need to get out of office. We want them removed from office. We need people that's going to uphold the law. We need people that are going to make sure that the citizens, the people that elected them, that they are being heard and that their needs are being met. See, over the last 3 or 4 decades, these elected officials have forgotten what it is to be concerned about the people. You don't. We look at the current situation of TDCJ, the overcrowdedness. We look at the suicide rates. We look at the food that they're serving. I mean, it's ridiculous. We can go on and on and on and on and on and on. But guess what? Until we get those people out that have been in charge, that have been running this and allowing this, because you can't tell me if you can spend $11 million to send inmates to another state, why can't you take that $11 million and put it into the state right here in Texas? I'm not even in Texas, but you can put it into the state of Texas. You can design a rehabilitation program that works. It has worked in other states. We've seen it. So you can't tell me it does not work. The state of Texas do not want it to work. Why? Because they make so much money off of this corruption that is taking place, but they are ruining lives. They are ruining lives behind this. That's why all these people, if you're a citizen of the great state of Texas, you have the right to stand up. You have a right to write your Congress people. You have a right to write your legislators. You have a right to go down to that Capitol building and stand on those steps if need be. You have a right to sit in. You have a right to know what's going on. Y'all, they are underhanded everything that we stand for. Justice is not justice no more. It's not justice for us. It's not justice for us. But enough is enough. Enough is enough. And we look at it. All you got to do is follow the paper trails. In any which way you look, follow the paper trails. Follow the paper trails, and it will lead you to every area of corruption in the state of Texas. We talk about the prison system. We talk about all these jobs that are being performed for free because y'all not are getting paid. We talk about all those jobs that you are signing off on, saying that you work, and you're not getting a dime from it. In other states, it may not be much, but they're getting paid. There's only 6 states in the whole United States that do not pay their prisoners. And it's sad. And if you look at it, those are the states. Those are the states where you see all of the corruption. You see all of the underhanding. You see all of the under the table stuff. You talk about public offenders becoming assistant district attorneys and then coming district attorneys and then getting on the Court of Appeal, and then they're blocking out the inmates. They're blocking out the inmates because guess what? You put them there. So now you have control. You're telling people you're setting up, and then they got to cover up this and cover up that and cover up that. But guess what? All of this stuff is being exposed. We're not sitting down on it no more. And there's more people just like what we're doing here on the Free Texas campaign. We're exposing this. We're letting these people know that, hey, you put this person behind prison walls and you're doing this to them for what? Okay, they may have done the crime, but they do deserve a second chance. A lot of the people that are out here free, a lot of them need to be behind prison wall, but because they did not get caught for what they done. Only difference. Those behind prison wall got caught. They're doing their time. Do they have to die in prison? No, they shouldn't have to die in prison. You talk about some of these overly incarcerated individuals. You take them to another state and their sentence would be different. Why is Texas like that? Follow the money trail. Y'all, it's time for change. It's time for change.
That's what it is.
13th Amendment states it. They live by the 13th Amendment. It's time to eradicate it. It's time to get rid of it. It's time for the state of Texas to be held accountable. You can't pick and choose what you're going to do. Either you going to be for the people or you not going to be for the people. It's time for change. And we have to be the change that we want to see in this world. We have to be that change. We have to be that change because we're seeing people die every day in prison. They're dying from malnourishment. They're dying from suicide. They're dying for homicide. And sometimes it's at the hand of these correction officers. And sometimes it's at the handmaid of their salaries. And then they're keeping it under hush. They're not exposing it. And shame on these newscasters. These so-called these so-called CBS, NBCs, and ABCs that's supposed to be broadcasting. It's supposed to be being true journalists. That when you're a true journalist, you share the truth, and you don't sugarcoat it. You're not biased. Just share the truth. You share the facts. And if the facts sound like you biased, then oh well. The truth will always set you free. The truth will set you free. I'm telling you, I get heated. I get heated when I talk about all of the corruption in Texas because it's sad. And it's sad that you guys are spending half of your lives and almost your whole lives in a prison system. And then most of y'all are going in there as babies or just walking into adulthood. See, they think they smart. They get you when you cross right into adulthood, so they can think they can keep you for the rest of your life. And then guess what? When they let you out, you're old. You can't do nothing. And then you got to be dependent on the state. There you is, being a burden, thinking you being a burden. And then they hoping that the people that they let out are going to reoffend so they can get back in there. So then they ain't got to let them out no more because, hey, we don't gave you a chance. We don't let you out and then you reoffend. But what about the people that have went through the schooling? They've turned the training. They've done everything that they can in their power to show you that they have changed, that they want to be a productive citizen, that they want change, and they want to do the same for other people. They don't want other people having to go down the roads that they went, because you're looking at people that have been in prison 25, 30, 35 years, and I heard somebody say, it may have been you, say 45 years. That's a long time. A lot of people have celebrated a lot of milestones. Half of these young kids that's incarcerated, they haven't even lived long enough as some of these people have been in prison. And it's sad. It is sad that they keep giving these people set-offs. They keep giving them year set-offs. They keep giving them 2-year set-offs. It's sad. But you can spend $11 million sending inmates to another state. Use that money right here in the state of Texas and let some of these people go. You have eligible people. The governor can make that decision. Those people that are eligible to be released, if they've done everything, if there's nothing else that they can do to show that they need rehabilitation, why not let them go? What if they show you everything that they've done that show you that they can be a productive citizen? You still want to hold them. Why? Because there got to be some dollars riding on their head. I'm telling you. We need to look at this governor. And if he ain't gonna do what he's supposed to do, he keep vetoing bills and overlooking bills and promising people he gonna do this, and then when it get closer to what he's supposed to do, he don't do it. It's time for him to go. It's time to get somebody in there that's gonna do what they supposed to do and that's gonna stand up for the people and gonna let the people's voice be heard. It's time for change. It's time for change, and we got to be that change. It's time for change. I'm telling you, I'm excited because we're going to be coming. The Free Texas campaign is going to be coming to different places in the state of Texas. We are rallying. So we are rallying families because the state of Texas is doing a lot of stuff underhandedly, and they trying to hide stuff. Like with the we talk about the juvenile. They keep overriding and vetoing the juvenile bill, the second look bill, I think is what it's called. But they're not looking at the fact that they don't destroyed and lost all of the juvenile records. And if you don't lost and destroyed all of the juvenile records, then guess what? You got to bring them back to court. You got to give them another trial. You got to present a case, or you got to let these babies go. And half of them probably been locked up over 20 years, 10, 15 years. And guess what? Half of these babies, if you give them a second chance, they're not going to offend again, because guess what? A lot of them don't been through some stuff. A lot of them don't experience some stuff that they not going to want to be on the inside of a prison again. Give them a chance. Don't make them spend the rest of their lives on behind walls. That's not what we do. I'm telling you, these people making me want to run for office. I'm telling you, if I get some people to back me, I'll run. I definitely will. I'll move to Texas and run, because I'm telling you, we need change. We need to get these people that's not gonna stand up and do what they're supposed to do. We need to get them out of office, because I'm tired of hearing stories like yours. Thousands of individuals. I've interviewed quite a few people. I have about 60 people on my list. I'm working towards 100 that I really want to work with and try to bring a light to their cases, and at least make some noise, and get their families to rally with me, because it's going to take the families of these individuals to stand up to and say enough is enough, because y'all, it's time out. It's time out. Mr. Joe, before we leave today, I want you to make a plea with the people. What is pressing your heart today? What would you like to see take place within TDCJ that can not only help you, but can help other inmates see the light of day, to see the outside of these prison bars without having to spend half of their lives there, and then they're no good when they get out? What can you tell those in charge to touch their hearts on today?
Like I said before, I've been incarcerated over 18 years now. I still have 12 more to go, more or less. And I won't lie, it took roughly 10 years to finally hit a point in my life to stop blaming people for the poor choices I made and take responsibility for my choices and start looking up to want to change my environment. There's so many times we talk about wanting to change our environment or see our environment change. Well, it starts with you, yourself. I believe if a person after 15 years still hasn't gotten it, then yeah, maybe they deserve the extensive amount of time that they have. But after 15 years, you can definitely break someone to the point of there be no good to anybody. There's a lot of times, there's a lot of these gentlemen, they come in, they're changing, they're working on it, but due to the corruption of the officers, turning blind eyes to so many situations, I got inmates back there that are being overhoused right now because they've been beat up and they're asking for help, and they're like, they send them right back to population to get beat up again or wait. And that's not cool. I just want the government to have an oversight on that parole system. Instead of these people that are corrupting the system, are higher up, denying us, let's have an outside person look at it. Why not bring a point system where instead of me being a high security inmate for the rest of my life, work a point system where I can come down like the Perez do. You can go in as a high inmate, but come out as a medium or low.
Yeah, they supposed to have a point system. They supposed to have a point system, but they block out the number, so you don't know what where you rank at. So it's hard to keep track. It's like they're being secretive. It's like they're not being transparent. So if they wouldn't block out the number, then you would be able to see it, and then people would be able to see where this person stands, what this person has accomplished, what this person has not done, and how we can help this person get to where they need to be. And see, that's not what's being done. And see, they got to get back to being transparent. And like I was saying on the last interview, I talk about this quite often. What I feel need to be done, they need to bring people in that's going to make us inmate feel whole, and I mean from the head to the toe. If that means you need a psychologist, you need a therapist, whatever you need that's gonna make you be able to function in this real world, that's who need to be a part of your parole plan. They need to have an individual parole plan so that these people can reintegrate into society. That's what they need. That's what every and they don't need it. It can't be a group thing. It has to be an individual thing because everybody is individualized. They are an individual person. They have individual personality. They have individual strength. They have individual weaknesses, and that's what needs to take place until people get back to looking at the inmates individually and as a human. But see, they don't dehumanize them to they don't even look at them as humans. They got to get back to looking at them as human, and then they can conceptualize and think about the whole person and how they can reintegrate them into society. So that's what I think, and I think them having a psychologist, having a professional people on there, like having organizations like Goodwill. You got organizations like Goodwill, United Way. These are organizations that help with self-development and help with growth and help with helping you to have those skills so that you can go out, find jobs, know how to present yourself so that you, because think about it, a lot of these people have been away from society, a lot of things have changed, technology have changed, so they can help them work on the technology, get used to technology, different things. See, they got to think about all of this when they're thinking about reintegrating people. They not reintegrating people. They're not trying to put people back in society. They throwing them out there, and then they hoping that they gonna fail so they can end up back there a number so that they can use them as they greed and they power. I mean that's what they do. But I say an overhaul, like you say, they need an overhaul of the parole board, and that's my take on it. Yeah. And once they do that, because you can't have former correction officers, former DAs, you got former, everybody is a former something to do with something that's gonna put these people in there. Of course, they're gonna want to keep them in there. They don't want them to get out because a lot of them probably holding animosity. So guess what? They don't need to be a part of this. And the people that's appointing them, they need to be looked at too. Because why are you appointing them? Because you got some kind of political influence, and it's all about favoritism. It's all about bribery. It's all about looking out for the next person because they in my circle. Nah, it's time out for that, and we got to move past that, and that's what we gonna do. And like I say, we got to get some of these people up out of office because some of them they've been in way too long, and it's all about bribery and favoritism that has kept them there. It's time out for that. It's time to move. Time for change. But I want to thank you for stopping by. You have definitely put some light on some things. Definitely gonna have to come back and share again and get us an update on the situation that's going on at McConley. I know there's been some suicides over there, so definitely I want you to come back. So definitely thank you again, Joe. And I appreciate you. You keep being strong. You keep pushing, and we're gonna do what we can do on the outside to continue to bring light to what's going on in the state of Texas. And you be blessed. I appreciate you so much. Y'all, another opportunity. There was another guy, Joe Guerrero, sharing a little bit about what's going on in TDCJ and a little bit about his story. Y'all, thank you for tuning in. If y'all would share this in your circle of influence, because I know that there's been some nuggets dropped on today, because a lot of stuff you may not realize goes on behind prison wall that we need to be brought aware of. And it's by these conversations and these types of interaction is where we get these things to be able to come to the forefront and be able to come to light, y'all. Again, all those things that's been going on in the dark, they're going to come to the light slowly but surely. God is going to vindicate some people, and some people that's been wrongfully and overly incarcerated. They're going to be able to come from behind those prison walls, and they're going to be able to help some more people to come from behind those prison walls. So y'all keep praying for the Free Texas campaign. Keep praying for the Queen, y'all. I'm just doing what God has laid on my heart. It was dropped in my spirit, and I just couldn't let it go, y'all, because this could have been one of my family members, and I just couldn't let it go. If it was one of my family members, I would want somebody to do the same. So y'all, it was dropped in my lap, so I had to move. So y'all, I will be back at 12:55 Central Standard Time. That'll be 1:55 Eastern Standard Time. So that's going to be in about, I'm gonna say, about 21 minutes. I'll be back, and we're gonna have Casey Woodard. He's gonna be on sharing his perspective. So y'all can stop by, go grab y'all a little snack, grab your little drink, and come on back. I love you guys, and I appreciate y'all. Please share this in your circle if you would. All right.